Last week we talked about purposeful mindfulness. One of the key things in relation to becoming more mindful is that you begin to become aware of who you are and who you're not, what you're truly capable of, rather than the manner in which we normally carry around our baggage, which says I'm able to do this, I'm unable to do that, I have strengths, I have weaknesses. A few weeks ago, in the course of a workshop with some old hands, I had 8 people in a room, most of whom that I know over a protracted period of time. We had what might be described as a heated debate, or at least I certainly got heated, in relation to the whole battery of personality tests that are used nowadays, particularly in the recruitment business. Now, the first point I would make about personality tests in the process of recruitment is that the American Psychological Association says categorically that it is unethical to use personality tests, psychometric tests, in a recruitment process, in any recruitment process. So I really do not know what many large organisations are doing, literally messing with people's minds. Bearing in mind that psychometric tests were first introduced on an unsuspecting world 90 years ago in the context of the formation in 1922 in New York of a company called the Psychological Corporation. Now listen to this carefully, because the Psychological Corporation had one goal in mind, and that was to measure everybody, to ensure that everybody was put in their right box, so that everybody did the job that was just suited to them, because if you could achieve that, you could generate another $70 billion a year for the US economy. That's $70 billion a year in 1922. In other words, like lots of things in life, it was all about the money. Now, unfortunately, we've been shoving ourselves into those boxes for the intervening 90 years, with the result that we don't actually know who we are. Yes, we're brought up with the best will in the world by our parents and those closest to us. We soak in the social and cultural and family environments in which we live. We take psychological snapshots during our formative years, and by the time we're 11 or 12, we know who we are, or more to the point, we think we know who we think we are. We have dragged around baggage ever since as adults of snapshots taken during our formative years that have no relevance whatsoever to the here and now. Sure, our automatic pilot, which enables us to do all things automatically without thinking about it during the course of an ordinary working day, uses that stored knowledge to get us through the day. It's a phrase I used last week in relation to how our minds evolved in evolutionary times. I don't want to make it through the day. I want to make something of my day. I want to make something of my life, and I'm sure you do too. And in order to do that, I've to drop my baggage. And why did we have a heated debate a couple of weeks ago in relation to this? Because psychometric tests don't just measure your baggage, which is an illusion, bear in mind, but they confirm your baggage, and they say, oh yeah, you're green, or you're red, or you're whatever A, B, C, D, X. I don't even know the categories because I'm not interested in them, because psychometric tests measure something that is not there. Now, in the context of being a great leader, I don't mean a world leader, I mean somebody who motivates and inspires others, you need to drop this mask or pretense of who you think you are. It is something that we will talk about next week in relation to a whole new movement in psychology around the concept of authentic leadership. In the meantime, bear in mind that if your mind is fit for purpose, you will realize who you really are. If you're mindful, you will realize the reality of what you're capable of, and the baggage will begin to fall away anyway, effortlessly.